Hi guys and welcome to the Thomian Legion podcast, Stewards edition. To my right is Dimitri Jayawardena and Navishka Yapa. To my left, Haritha Ramanayaka, Charan Jayaratnam, Niven Nanayakara, and I am Aaron D'Souza.
So, Dimitri, what's your view on this year's big match season?
Well, this year's big match, I think when you ask anyone, they can agree that it's a completely different hype and a completely different scenario compared to all the other years. Because, I mean, during the month of March, which is usually the big match month, when you walk on the road or if you go out, you can see that the entire hype is built up. Anyone will know that, okay, this is a Rohito season, but now when you walk around, you don't know what's happening. I mean, big matches suppose come up in a few days, but then we have you can't really know if it's big match or not right now. It's because of the entire situation that's prevailing right now.
Yeah, it's because it's mainly the month of March that is like that not even just Royal Thomian, Anand, Nalanda, and all the other big matches are being played. So you see different flags or different schools, and all the vans holding the Royal and Thora flag, snatching it from each other. That is like that whole hype has died down.
Yeah, that same vibe is not there. Everyone's excited and everyone's giving Thora paras in school. We didn't have that this year, and that is pretty disappointing to a lot of us.
That's also because all the boys haven't been able to come to school at once, and even the younger batches and all the batches, that hype has just totally gone down.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The school environment is extremely different from previous years because, as you said, a lot of batches haven't been able to come to school, and a lot of students have been still stuck with online learning.
Well, it's not just the big match like on the roads, the entire hype. I think all the events that lead up to big match also have been different, like the cycle parade and then the trucking that happens and all the other.
Trucking, have you guys ever been trucking?
No,
Not really.
I've never been on trucking, but I've heard a lot of stories like how they jump into schools, and I think last year they tried to go
Or the year
into.
before?
No, this
No,
is
this
2020. 2020. A few of my batchmates went and they were saying they tried to go into BC, but the cops started chasing them and they were running all around. They ended up in near Crescat. From BC to Crescat, they were running.
So
use
they
rubber
were-
bullets.
Rubber bullets, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. Maybe I think I heard about that few years ago.
Rubber bullets.
Yeah, rubber
So
bullets.
from
Must
BC they went straight to prep.
Yeah, all the way to prep.
All the way to prep.
Just to hide.
I know even there was a story last year, year before that, 2019, where some of our guys went to jump into Metro, right? I
This
think-
is last year. Last year. Yeah.
Last year again.
It's
No.
a year before. They
Year
jumped-
before.
Yeah, year before.
2019,
They jumped
right,
into Metro, and then the cops have been waiting inside of them. And then suddenly when they jumped
Ambush.
in, like they all ran out from this tiny gate, and that gate was just abolished.
They
Yeah,
broke it.
They just broke it.
I mean, now the cops also know that okay, during this time children are going to jump in, so they are full ready. It's not as
Like,
easy as
just
before.
before the cycle parade. Also, there's this one video that was circulating as well, where this guy just literally sidestepped the cop and just ran. That went viral.
Yeah, and I think some schools actually let them in. I've heard like Ladies College, BC also. Some years they
BC
just
mainly,
they would just
opened
open the gates and let
because-
us in.
Because during the bombs, they put the fences up.
Yeah, no
So
one was able to
no
jump,
one was able
so
to jump,
they
so
opened the
they
gates.
yeah.
I think when the situation gets back to normal, I don't think trucking is going to be as easy as before with all the fences and the
Yeah,
cameras and
yeah.
all that.
There are cameras also now and
It's
police.
impossible.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard.
Talking, so before big match, one of the main things for stewards is the ad hunt,
Yeah, collecting ads.
collecting ads. So, Yapa, how was it collecting ads last year?
I mean, it was alright. So we had to call people and keep on going back to them if they didn't give say anything. But I think you had an easy time, yeah.
Not necessarily.
Did you really have to find for ad, or did you just like ask your father for ad and just give it in?
I think you just you hand in that the day after you got the form, right? Just petty cash.
The earlier the better, no?
Yeah, really.
So I mean, usually that happens during ad hunting. We have to go call people, find contacts, and really find ads. But for you, it is not that hard, right?
It
It was not ad hunting, but it was basically
I remember-
asking for ad.
I remember him being the first one to give it in.
Otherwise,
Actually,
who else?
last year I gave bookmarking.
Ah.
So it covered,
Ah.
so
You covered like 10 people.
I covered my fair share of it.
So if you want to know how hard it is finance, don't ask Niven, you have to ask someone else who
Yeah,
actually
definitely
went
not Niven.
went and found ads.
Anyone excluding Niven will know how it is.
Because even though it looks simple, like okay, you just went ask for that, it's not that simple. You have to like really go and find people, and none of them like really agree. It's, you
Yeah.
like push them and really get them to give you an ad, so it's not that easy. But Niven will never know the struggle
But
of that.
sponsorships are much harder.
Again, not for
Again,
you.
that is not that hard for
Okay,
you.
moving on, Rama. How was your experience at the cyber parade last year?
You know, I was with you the whole time. So basically, at the start, we were told to like be at the front of the Cyber Parade, and we had to basically lead the Cyber Parade as stewards in front and make sure there's like nothing wrong happening.
With the Malis, the bicycle.
Yeah, and we'd have to like give water to everyone, basically the teachers and all of that, and yeah, that's about it. We had to do.
But the hardest part about that is like literally clearing the traffic for the cycles to go through.
Yeah.
Because it's a I think they put like a jeep, a police jeep or some jeep with the police lights on, and then they have the cycles, no, the cadets,
The cadets, yeah.
then the cycles, and then all the other trucks, jeeps, and all of that.
Buses, yeah.
So after the cadets go, the main issue is like how on the side roads, how they're trying to go through to clear that, like to give space to them and to keep the Mali safe as well.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part, walking all the way from prep to mount, doing that continuously.
And we had to walk the whole way.
Yeah, we
Stewards had to
Yeah.
walk the
We
whole
just walked
way.
and I think.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
It's a different experience.
Even though it sounds very hectic, I think we're all gonna miss it this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we all
definitely.
enjoyed it.
And now since prep came up, we've been starting the psychopate from prep for the past few years. As a prepite, how was your experience?
Not only prepare, he was the prefect.
Hey, you also in prep, so you can also tell us.
No, but from grade 11 downwards, they don't have cyber parade. Only grade 11 is allowed to go for it.
So as a prepite, you were never a part of a psychopate. So
No.
Dimitri, you tell us how.
So usually what happens is the grade 11 batch they join the cycle parade, but the rest of the grades don't join.
Okay.
But as you said, the previous year's cycle parade started from prep. So when you all start there, I mean, everyone gathers there, so that's like a big hype there, and then
Yeah.
everyone's out of classes. I remember last year that all the Mallis were outside, they like
Yeah, yeah,
dance,
yeah.
vibing
They
to
were
the music
dancing,
and
yes.
dancing with the flags and Tora Paras. So it's like it's very happening in the beginning. So everyone enjoys it there, but then sadly only the grade 11 batch gets to join the cycle parade. But I mean, as a prepite, it was one of my experience also to experience it from prep.
I
Yeah.
think they should, like next year, when hopefully COVID settles down, they should let the whole prep school actually join the cycle parade. Because one thing, it'll be a crowd. The next thing is a good experience for them. Because some boys not necessarily goes from prep to mount, but they go to other schools,
Yeah,
they
that's
go
true.
to London and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's a good something good to implement.
I agree. I think that's a really good suggestion. So
You should have-
hopefully it'll
you should have
change.
implemented while you were there.
Hopefully
We'll
next
think
year
of
we
that, we'll think to far about that.
next year we'll make a change.
So again, just before big match, we as house prefects have to collect straw hats and badges, which actually let us go to every tent. That's like our basically our pass to go to every tent, and golly bags. So that's like actually getting that is like some kind of this thing, no?
It's a privilege and
It's
like
actually a
it's a yeah. So Charan, how was your experience while like the first time you got your straw hat and your badge? What did it feel like?
Well, I think one of the first things you feel is you feel proud of where you are and when you're small, you see all the house prefects and the college prefects with the hats and the badges and all, and it feels good when you have one. And one of the first things that the previous batches and all the guys told us was to go home and super glue the badge and
Yeah,
put a
because
couple extra
apparently-
pins. Yeah.
Because apparently that badge it quickly comes off.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that badge, you can't go to any other tent.
Yeah, you're screwed. You
You
can't
are
sell your
basically
souvenirs.
done
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
I remember
so-
thinking, okay, it won't really come off. It's just, I mean, the pin is pretty safe, but when you actually go a big match and realize, okay, the badge keeps falling off, then you realize,
So,
should
so
listen
what
to
I
that.
did is I took elastoplaster and pasted that. On top of that, I
okay.
put sellotape and super glue and stuff, and put 3 other pins just to stick.
I just
Better
had
safe
like
than
2
sorry.
pins and that's it. I always kept checking if it was there, so I think that was it.
So,
So it was our first year as stewards. So I
Yeah.
think you've done one extra year as a senior house break. What was your experience being a senior house break the year we won the big match?
The year we won, yeah. So actually, my school, in my entire school career, that was the first big match I properly remember winning. And yeah, it was, I don't know, words can't describe it, but I felt like really proud to be a part of it, to be part of the prefect system and everything during that time.
so Yapa, when we won big match, exactly which tent were you in?
So that year, I played rugby, so
Yeah.
we weren't allowed to come for big match that year
Okay.
because we were told to be in school and go training camp.
Okay.
But when we won, we also felt like we were part of it. Since
So were you watching it on like a computer or someone's phone?
so each of us were either watching it from our own phones,
Okay.
and because of connection, each
Yeah.
of us would get different messages at different times.
Okay.
So it was really hype to hear that, and like we celebrated on our own.
How did you all celebrate the winning moment, like the moment we won? How
So
was it?
the moment we won, everyone started shouting, and we did a Tora Para on our own. So yes, that kind of vibe is
That's
there.
a bit sad.
Even if they are not there, we still feel that hype and
Yeah.
that love for the big match.
That's one thing. One of the biggest things I'm missing this year.
Yeah.
The whole hype.
Honestly, even like all the uncles and all, they also still feel that wall about the big match. That they want to know what the scores are and who wins.
I think
It's there for everyone.
And now
Every
this year,
domain.
big match will be played in Hambantota, right?
Yeah,
Surya
Surya
Stadium. On what dates?
The 6th, 7th, and 8th of May.
Okay, and so now there are even not much of a crowd is allowed to go.
I don't think a crowd is allowed.
No one
to
is
go at
allowed
all.
to go.
Yeah.
Not even the parents or that's still to be decided, right?
Yeah, I think it's still to be decided. Even the prefects, we are not sure if we can go ahead.
So we'll know what it was like for Yapa to watch the big match the year we won.
Yeah.
We always basically know what our experience was.
But I think that would be a super experience for the cricketers to actually play at such a at an international stadium like that.
Yeah, but SSC is also an international stadium, but it will be different for them when they go to Hambantota because the crowd isn't there and yeah, the support. Normally, big match, the boys tent, all the tents with music and everything, they'll have none of that. So I think it'll
I
be
mean,
a
would
very
it be
different
easy to play?
experience.
Normally, I hear that they don't hear sometimes if someone's talking.
It would be easy, but I don't think it'll be the
They
same
don't have
hype.
that hype,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
full motivation
You get
to
a-
perform.
Like you are,
As
I
much-
mean, it might be pressure, but then it's also like you see your entire school watching you and you need to perform for that.
They won't have any of us to run
Yeah,
the ground
running
also with
yeah.
the score 50.
Yeah.
I mean, when you walk in there, you know, okay, there are so many people backing me and cheering for me,
Yeah.
but now it's just going into empty
And how
field.
we
of
and
play.
how before they come in we make
The
a
tunnel
just
with the
to
flag
close
and
that.
everything.
I
Yeah.
don't think they'll
Yeah, they'll miss out on that this year, but yeah.
But going back to what Yapa said about how they did their own Torapara during, like in the when they couldn't witness the win firsthand, I think that's one specialty of the Rohito. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are or like what sport you play, or even if you're an old boy, but even once you leave school,
Yeah.
the love and support is there because you see everyone like hyped up just as much as the cricket team who is actually playing. So that's, I think, one specialty of the Rohito big match.
Yeah.
You'll always be a 2-minute heart. Wherever you go, whichever part of the world you be in, you
Yeah.
still want to know what happens because your heart will always be in college.
Yeah, and they play matches overseas. Like in Australia, they play
Yeah.
the all boys match, Royal All Boys
Yeah,
match
Roy
just
the old
before.
boys match, yes.
So I can't wait to go there and play.
So that's all the time we have for today's segment. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all at the next one.
What is your coping mechanism? What are you battling today, my friends? Use the privilege of prayer and posture your heart in submission. Let's trust God to work everything out for our good as He promises.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back and live at the Chicken or the Egg World Summit. Up next, we have Mr. Plump. What are your thoughts on this complicated question?
I say we solve this problem by building a wall around it.
Could you explain further?
Simple, like how CIC makes Besto chicken.
CIC Besto?
Yeah, young lady, the quality, safety, and taste of CIC Besto chicken is because it comes from a 100% controlled environment.
Word up for the better. Bingo!
Besto.